What's going on, Colts Nation? I appreciate you joining me. Where today we're going to have one last conversation about this L'Jarius Sneed thing. A lot of different information coming out from different people. This time, not just people in the Colts world. This is national media kind of people that have their different sources saying different things, kind of what we've been talking about already, but some other people getting into the mix of this conversation. Right over the weekend, it was Stephen Holder and Destin Adams that we were talking about, having completely different information and all the different stuff that was coming out. And it seemed like more people than not were saying that there was a deal in place. They're just trying to figure out the details for the L'Jarius Sneed trade. And then Diana Rossini had a conversation today, and there was a lot that she said about that situation. She was talking about different situations. Of course, the Colts in possibly trading for L'Jarius Sneed was one of the biggest situations of the weekend. So that got brought up. And here are the different points that somebody put on Twitter from that conversation. What was said. So, one, at one point, it was the Titans, Colts, Vikings, Patriots that were in talks for him. Vikings and the Patriots have since dropped out of the conversation of trying to trade for L'Jarius Sneed. Okay, number three, Diana Rossini said that she was this close to sending a tweet last week because she thought the Titans had completed the deal prior to the Ridley to Titans deal. And then she went on to say that she thinks talks are still ongoing for the Colts, might not happen until closer to the draft, though. And she said that if there is a trade, the Colts are the most likely destination to be able to land him, but she thinks he could also stay in Kansas City and the Chiefs would be happy to keep him around. So, what we're looking at is, again, everything that we've already talked about. Like the Colts are in talks for him. There could be a deal in place, but she's talking about possibly not coming till closer to the draft, right? Both sides are going to try to keep their own leverage up to that point, and either something's going to happen and somebody's going to be okay giving away a little more, or we're going to end up in a situation where the stalemate happens and the Colts decide we're just not going to do it. And the Chiefs decide, hey, we're just going to keep our guy and run it back. Right. And Snead is making $19.8 million on the franchise tag. He wants north of $20 million a year. So, again, we'll see what happens. That's Diana Rossini's information. But then you had Adam Schefter, who on the Pat McAfee show went on and was talking about that, right? Pat McAfee asked Adam Schefter about that situation, what was going on, and what the real information is. And Adam Schefter came out and said that the Colts and the Chiefs haven't talked about a trade for L'Jarius Sneed at all. So there's been so many different people that have said that there's at least talks happening with it, even if there wasn't people saying like it's pretty much a done deal. They're just trying to figure some last details out. There's Adam Schefter saying they're not talking at all. There's been no conversation at all. And that makes me wonder, like, because listen, there are going to be different sides of negotiations that try to get different things out in the media so they can gain a little bit of leverage. So somewhere along the lines, some information's gotten out, and either somebody wants that information out or information's getting out that somebody like something here is helping, right? Whether it's Stephen Holder, whether it's Adam Schefter, right? And both those guys work for ESPN. I'm a little bit of conspiracy theorist, but I also you have to know how the game's played. It just something's a little weird there, okay? Because what I'm going to go with, but Diana Rossini is somebody that over time, like she's not going to say something if there's not some inkling of information that's real about that. Like Diana Rossini, I trust Diana Rossini. I also trust Destin Adams. Okay, I will continue to talk about that on this channel, even if he's ends up not being right about this situation. We don't get L'Jarius Sneed. Like Destin Adams is somebody that I've come to appreciate as somebody that talks about the Colts and reports on the Colts, and his sources are like all the time right. I feel like there's probably instances you could go back and find where Destin Adams might not have been right about a situation, but I feel like every time I see something from Destin Adams, it's correct. So that's the source that, as this continues, that I'm going to keep going back on. But also, that could just be me being a hopeful Colts fan. Like, yes, I want to get L'Jarius Sneed. I think that'd be a move that would really help us. Now, there's also another side to this that I've thought of, and I don't remember if I've talked about it with you guys, but like if we didn't get L'Jarius Sneed, like how would that be? Like, yes, I'd like to have L'Jarius Sneed, but I still feel confident in the fact that we have Dallas Flowers, Juju Brents, Jalen Jones as our outside guys, Kenny Moore as our slot guy. We know we can depend on him. So I could see why maybe they don't want to give up all that for L'Jarius Sneed and they just want to roll with the guys that they've drafted over the last couple of years and continue to let these guys who have looked good at the position and just let them continue to grow. Like I have a feeling that this year, this upcoming year, we're going to see Juju Brents take off into superstardom. Like I think Juju Brents is an absolute dog. He has all the physical tools. He just has to be able to stay on the field, and I think he'll be able to continue to cause habits. Whether it's tackles, he's a great tackler. He's got a big body. I think he's going to be able to get his hands on the balls and have pass deflections and interceptions. He's already shown in his first game playing that he's able to punch the ball out and be physical like that. I really think Juju Brents is going to take that next step. And then again, we have Dallas Flowers. We have Jalen Jones, who is really good as a rookie and kind of gets overlooked, I feel like. So, secondary, like in terms of the secondary, like I think we need safety depth. And I think we could add somebody else in that corner room. And I think adding another guy that's at least pretty good, right? Somebody that has some starting experience, and we'll talk about other free agents that are available. But just for the purposes of this conversation, like if you could just add somebody to that corner room, then the depth would be finished there. You really just need to focus on safeties, which again, if this L'Jarius Sneed deal doesn't go through, that's where I think the Colts will go is throw money at safeties and get a guy like Quandre Diggs or get a guy like Justin Simmons, and then maybe even Julian Blackman, who's still out there. Maybe they do bring Julian Blackman back. I would like to see Nick Cross be able to get on the field more, but we'll see what happens with all that. We're going to continue to talk about some of this stuff. I want to talk more about safeties. I want to talk more about other free agent cornerbacks that aren't L'Jarius Sneed, and we're going to do that. We're also going to start getting in draft talk as a draft is about a month away. So please hit that subscribe button. Make sure you have those notifications turned on so you get notified when any of these videos come out or any updates that happen. I'll get to you guys as soon as I possibly can. So with that said, of course, I appreciate you stopping by for another video. And as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.